one of our students had, a couple of students had some really great things to say. I don't know if they're here. Are Joseph and Sadie here? But I'm going to let them talk about the class.
The translation, when you say it in English, it sounds completely unnatural. And sometimes the translation is correct, but someone who's not familiar with Japanese culture won't understand what they're talking about.
You know, being able to stand up there at the mics and actually work it and see, you know, after the fact, say, okay, that does not match at all. And then actually, you know, playing back the entire thing and being able to say, okay, the dialogue is horrible, it's stilted, and being able to see that, you can't really mimic that experience by just talking.
I've taken a lot of classes, and a lot of my professors are really kind of vindictive and like mean when you make a mistake. But Kristen's really supportive. Like, how can I help you? How can I help you help you? You know, kind of an attitude. It's really refreshing.
Isn't Sadie cute? She's wonderful. They did some really good work. It's very interesting, and now we're getting to the point where we're going to start grouping them and putting together submission packages so they can submit to the different studios to see if they need some script adapters, which would be great. Now, one of the other things I do is my voice acting workshop, because I have an inkling that there's some people in here who might be interested in voice acting. Am I right? Now, many of you probably know a lot about voice acting. If you came by our booth, you saw that whole voice acting workshop that was running the whole time. So I want to go over it very quickly, but I first want to start with the worst dub I have ever heard. Because when we start to talk about this stuff, it's really useful to look at something really bad so we can figure out how to make it really good, okay? And this show, Garzey's Wing, I don't know if you've heard of this, but just listen to the opening narrator voice.
Show me the ancient Japanese man's spirit.
Right? Show me the ancient Japanese man's spirit. Really? Do I need to see that? So, what the hell is this show? Right? The show is about this guy, Chris, who rides around on his motorcycle. And in the middle of riding around on his motorcycle, this weird, ghostly swan swoops in, splits him in two, and pulls his soul out of his body and naked, of course, and takes him to this other world, right? So now he's in two pieces. There's part of his body that's in the real world riding his motorcycle and living his normal life in Japan. And then his soul body has now gone off into this second world, right? And he lands in the second world naked, with wings, and he has to fight people for no apparent reason, right? Because when you land naked in the magical world, you have to fight people. It's part of the sort of, coming of age. So, but all this has to do with, see around his neck, there are these bells? He's got these crazy little bells around his neck. So this is his soul body in like ancient times, and then his real body's in like normal times, but they can talk to each other through these bells. So he has a conversation with himself through these magical bells, and it is unbelievable. I just have to show it to you. This is him talking to himself between two different worlds. Where are you?
Because we can communicate with each other through these bells, it might lead to war and bells. Can you find a way to get back to there? Oh my God, I felt like I was having a dream. Oh, body is aching. Because I had to fight naked. Even dinosaurs are here, and they use bows and arrows. My sword is unbelievably dull. I don't know whether our body and mind are split. I don't know how we got separated, but I think we are still one person. We died together? No, it can't be true! I'm not joking. 12th and 13th century foreigners surround me. I must somehow make sense of our convoluted situation.
12th and 13th century foreigners surround me here. All I have to say is, fail. I mean, like, there's like so many things wrong here, right? And I mean, the script is not helping him, to be honest. But the voice acting, this is really bad. And we can all sit here and make a lot of fun of him, which is great. We can do this all day long. But what I want to talk about is how to make it better. Because a critic will see a piece of art, realize that it's bad, and then tell you about it. But an artist will see a piece of art, realize that it's bad, and then figure out how to fix it. Okay? And so that's what I want to teach in the voice acting classes, in the script adapting classes, everything else, in the anime mythology. How do we fix it? How do we make this better? So let's talk about the voice acting here. What's wrong with it? Everything. Everything, right? Why? What specific? It's overacted, right? I would say it's not believable. You don't believe the word coming out of his mouth. And what would we like to say to him? Act better. Right? But how? How? Well, you play pretend, right? That's basically the core of acting. You're playing pretend. Character, you have to know what your character's about, the relationship with the other characters, the objective, where you are, which we like to sort of call the crow, which is an easy way to keep track of all of that. So this is all the things that, sort of basic acting stuff you can get into the acting classes, but you also have to have these weird technical skills for anime. You have to be able to match lip flap, follow the beats, take direction. You have to understand how to use the microphone technique. So what you've got on one side is the emotional actor, and then the other side is the technical actor. And both of them have to come together to get a believable performance. He could be Robert De Niro in Garzey's Wing, but if he's not matching lip flap, it's not going to look right, right? So all of it has to come together. So I like to try to teach both. Improvisation is some of the best stuff you can use to try to work on the emotional side of the acting. And the technical side, you just got to dub to picture. You just got to get up and do it, right? So I have some friends who come help me. David and Jennifer Skelly, who David worked at Pixar and at Henson Studios, and they do a lot of improv stuff. They're a writing team. They do the improv stuff, and I do the dubbing to picture, and the three of us sort of come together and help teach the class. That's David and Jen there and me. So they start doing the improv to make sure that we've got the stuff going. And I actually take the class with you, because it's good for me. I like taking improv with David and Jen. And then after we're done doing that, we switch. And it's my turn to take over. And for the majority of the class, you've got me dubbing to picture. Because you've got to get up there and actually try. You've got to see what it's like to get up on the microphone and see if you can actually take everything you do so well in improv and apply it to the picture. And we have hopefully some of our students here who also have things to say about it.
A lot of people had a chance to work with the mic and on camera, and you actually got to see visually what it was like to work in a booth and not just hear about it.
What was different was the improv section at the beginning, which kind of lets actors just kind of get out of their own skin and just get really comfortable, and that was a whole lot of fun. And it helped me loosen up as an actor, so when I went to do the mic work, I was already warmed up and ready to go. That was really cool.
In a nutshell, it's just jumping into the deep end of voice acting. You learn it by doing it. If you're apprehensive because you've never done it before, never done anything like it before, even never done acting before, don't be afraid. Everybody makes mistakes, but in this environment, he makes it really, really positive. You learn from your mistakes, you learn from other people's mistakes, and in a positive way.
Oh, definitely go, because it's an experience that will not only help you grow as an actor, but just as a performer in general. So it's definitely worth it, and I would take another one if you offer another one.
And he did take another one. He actually came back to the intermediate class, and he wants to take more. And Luke's here too. You want to come back for more, right? Yeah. Luke took both the classes. It's really helpful. So we're running out of time, and I want to try to get some questions if you have some. So let me go through this last bit, anime mythology.